Hello? Is this thing on? Is it working? Hi, welcome back to my channel. It has been a while since I've done a reaction video. I always think reaction videos are like kind of strange because who wants to watch someone react to something? Oh my god, look at this awesome gameplay! Oh my god, she's running. She's running. See what I mean? Like, it's just not as cool to react if you're not a good reactor or if you don't have good reaction content. But today we are going to be reacting to Wansi Entertainment. These people are awesome. I love all of their animations, but we are going to watch some pretty interesting ones. Usually I don't like to watch these videos unless I have someone else reacting to them because I don't like scary things unless I'm with someone else. So a lot of the time I will just be watching YouTube videos of people reacting to this channel. So I thought we could do that today, you know, get our mind off of some things that have been going on in our life and just, you know, have a good time, I guess. I don't know what I'm going with this, but yeah, let's do that. If my mic is a little echoey, I apologize in advance. I've currently moved into a new place, so it's different acoustics than my room is used to, I guess. And then let me know if the volume's too high. I guess you're not gonna let me know until
This is a story about my mother. When my mother was 14 years old, she went to her home village with my grandparents, and one of her cousins also went with them. The village was lovely. The people of the village were peace lovers.
They
were much enjoying their visit, being surrounded by the beautiful nature in and around
I don't
the
really
village.
understand that.
But then, something happened one day while my mom and her cousin, my aunt, were walking and gossiping while eating some corn they bought from a shop. Suddenly, they noticed that their packet of corn was almost empty, even though they bought it just a few minutes
Wansi
earlier.
has really stepped up their
Then,
game.
out of nowhere, they noticed my aunt's friend was beside them eating the corn. But she wasn't with them when they were walking or when they bought the corn.
Ew, the
She
hairs in her
appeared
mouth.
like a bolt from the blue.
That is such a pet peeve.
But without
of mine.
giving it much thought, they started gossiping with her. It was almost dark though, and they had
That
to
is
hurry
so
to reach
weird.
home. But my
That she
aunt's
just kinda,
friend's
like,
home was
came
very
up
close
with
by
them.
and on the same road that they were walking on. So they said goodbye to her, but she told them that there is a shortcut to reach my mom's house, and that she will take them to the house using the shortcut if they want to. My mom and aunt didn't want to, but the friend started insisting that they go with her. Then she showed the shortcut to them. It was a short, bushy path in the jungle surrounded by big trees. It looked kind
like, even if this girl doesn't have malicious intent, it is just scary enough to go out into the wild alone. Because what if an animal gets you? Like, I'm not scared of the girl, I'm scared of the animal. Like, it's gonna be a 2v1. So I'm okay with those odds, but like with a freaking bear or something, I don't know where this story takes place, but I wouldn't do it. It's too risky.
kind of scary as it was already dark. So my mom and aunt said no to her, but she started insisting again. Even though they didn't want to go, they felt pressure to go because of her. They were confused and started walking along the shortcut.
Crazy.
They were walking so fast that they could get home sooner, but while they were on the path, a strong wind started blowing and it started to rain and then thunder. They were very scared.
Oh no, why did that scare me? Dude, the ambiance in this video is getting to me, and then when that thunder came in, I was like, can we get a replay of that? That was bad. That's embarrassing for me, honestly.
A strong wind started blowing and it started to rain and then thunder. Then, at that same moment, my aunt's friend just disappeared. They were terrified and started running straight.
1 minute I'm there, and then the next minute I'm not. Like, in the terms of me getting online PlayStation. 1 minute I'm there, the next minute I'm not, and then you don't see me for months. And then I come back. And then I'm gone for more months. I'll come back for like maybe a week or two. I'm so inconsistent.
Ahead. While running, my mom briefly saw a lady in a white dress with a big, creepy smile running towards them. My mom was so scared that she froze in place. My aunt then grabbed my mom's hand and started running as fast as she could.
Catch me lacking.
After running for about 2 minutes, they finally exited the jungle and were near the house. They went into their house and were breathing so heavily that my grandparents asked them what happened. Then they explained everything. They couldn't sleep a wink that night, and they were very angry at that friend of my aunt's. The next morning, they went to that girl's house and asked why she left them, not even showing them the way on that stormy night. But then the girl said that she didn't even go outside the previous day and had no idea what they were talking about.
Damn.
The girl's mother was working beside them and listened to the story. She said that her daughter was helping her in the kitchen that day and didn't go outside.
Damn.
My mom and aunt were shocked and looked at each other and asked, then who or what
If I get
was
jump
that
scared,
girl?
I'm done. It's game over. Okay. Okay, the cabin. Why isn't it capitalized? That bothers me. When people don't capitalize words that need to be capitalized, like in a title. Please capitalize
Heard
cabin.
when I was just 9 years old, and it's never left my mind since. I grew up in a small, quiet town surrounded by woods. Everybody
This
knew
thing's, like, as
everybody.
big as my
Nothing
head.
bad
It's
ever
bigger.
happened there, and life was
and there's
good.
also, like, way
You
bigger
get the
than my
picture?
hands.
Well, just outside of town was an
I'm
old,
distracted.
rundown
Let me
cabin
focus.
sitting atop a hill. A cabin which the kids called Dead Man's Cabin. It was called this because, even though it hadn't been lived in for decades, you could sometimes see smoke rising from its chimney in the distance. Police officers used to go up there, expecting to find squatters.
Okay, this is gonna be off topic, but also not, because I was thinking about the last video, and that, like, genuinely freaked me out just a little bit. But, like, I can do, like, kidnapping, murder, serial killers, true crime, anything that, like, has to do with that, I'm okay with. It doesn't scare me that much. But when it comes to anything paranormal, I'm instantly noping that shit. I cannot do paranormal for the life of me, whether it's a movie, real life, scary animations. Paranormal is just a no for me. It genuinely scares me because I feel like the unknown of anything could happen. Like, with a real person, you know, obviously they're not going to teleport behind you, but, like, with a ghost, that could happen, and that's scary.
But every time they went inside, the place would be completely empty and the fireplace would show no signs that it had been used. Eventually, the police just stopped going there and accepted the cabin as an unexplainable phenomenon. People got it in their heads that a ghost was living there and the name just stuck. Dead Man's Cabin also happened to be a 20-minute...
So the police... I'm so sorry, I was not listening. But, so the police kept going there because of what? They thought someone was living there? And so eventually they had gone so much that they were just like, nah, no, we're not even going to do this. So then they said it's a dead man's cabin. There could still be someone living there if, like, it's a homeless person or something.
walk away from my
It's not
house.
necessarily a ghost.
Although it was
I don't
obscured by
believe in
trees,
ghosts.
it could
I'm a
still be
skeptic.
partially seen from my bedroom window. And since I lived closest to the cabin, my friends would always ask me about it whenever they came over to spend the night. They'd ask if I could actually see the ghost through the window, or if I'd ever gone over there. I'd always say no and change the subject. But on one particular night, my friends and I decided to be a bit more daring.
No.
We were having another one of our usual sleepovers. It was me
Why are her toes
and my
like
two
that? Zoom in on those toes. That's crazy.
best friends, Mary and Diane, and we started talking about the cabin. I can't remember the specifics of our conversation, but I do remember that our talk somehow turned to a game of truth or dare.
I feel like this is what me and my friends did in high school. Like, we would, instead of being like, "Ooh, which boys are cute?" we'd be like, "What happened to you when you were younger as far as paranormal goes?" And that was our thing. We were the spooky kids. That sounds so cringe. I am sorry.
Diane dared me to spend 5 minutes inside the cabin, and me, being the
Perfect.
brave yet foolhardy kid that I was, accepted the challenge, but only on the condition that my friends joined me. Mary and Diane were visibly shaken by this, but since they didn't want to look like a bunch of scaredy cats, they agreed as well. Living in a
Me.
boring town like ours meant we had to look for adventure wherever we could, and a haunted cabin seemed like a nice change of pace. We were the type of kids who did whatever we wanted, no matter how dangerous it was, and getting the chance to meet a real-life ghost was too exciting for me to pass up. We snuck out one at a time through my bedroom window and headed
Put some
straight
shoes
for the
on.
woods. Dressed
If you're gonna
only
go
in our
outside, you
pajamas
might as
and
well
bare
put your
feet.
shoes on.
We had to leave our shoes and jackets
Oh.
behind so my parents wouldn't catch on to the fact that we'd left the house.
Oh, that makes sense.
Needless
actually.
to
Never
say,
mind.
we were all
But still,
heavily
no
underdressed
shoes.
for a hike.
Really?
But that didn't matter to us
Really?
at the time. Getting
You get
caught by my
splinters in your
parents and
feet.
possibly grounded for life was much worse than being out in the cold. Plus, we all had something to prove, and we didn't want to back out of the challenge. Stupid, I know, but that's how we rationalized it. Anyway, we pushed our way through low-hanging branches
Cats?
and stayed as
Bats?
close to each other as
Owls?
possible.
I like
The
that
constant
kitty cat.
chirping of
Kinda
crickets
cute.
filled the
I
air
love
as
cats.
twigs and leaves crunched under our bare feet. The scenery was admittedly creepy at night, and Mary
Why
kept
go
looking
at
over her
night,
shoulder
though?
every few seconds.
Just go during the day.
But we all kept moving forward, determined to prove our bravery.
Like,
When we finally reached the cabin, we walked up onto the porch and tried peeking in through the windows to see if anyone was home. All we saw was darkness, so we took that as a sign that it was safe to enter. Without hesitation, I reached for the knob
all we
and
saw is
turned it before
darkness, and
pushing
that
the door
meant it
open.
was safe.
The three of us were then greeted by a warm fire crackling in the fireplace. Red flag number 1.
Yeah.
There definitely wasn't a fire going when we were looking through the windows a second ago.
Yeah.
Now the whole cabin
I don't
was
know why
well
I'm
lit.
getting anime
We
ads.
should have turned back right then and
because I
there.
was looking up an
But since
anime
we've
the
been
other day,
walking
that's why.
barefoot for over a mile
Dude.
in 30 degrees
Protect your internet cookies. I know they say accept cookies. Don't accept the cookies, guys. It's just a trap.
weather, we were all too eager to warm up by the fire.
Not to be confused with that one time when Quincy called me a trap.
We sat on the floor, huddled together with our hands and feet out when the
No,
front
what-
door suddenly slammed shut
Literally,
behind
what
us.
the
We all jumped and turned our heads
Come
to
on,
the door, but
guys.
saw nothing suspicious.
Come on.
It must have been the wind.
You must have been
Mary
the
said in a
window.
shaky tone.
Get out of there, girl.
As if
Jump
things
out the
weren't
window if
creepy
you have
enough,
to.
We also heard the shuffling of footsteps from the next room over and
Oh my
decided to
God.
investigate.
No.
Our curiosity
Okay, this is... I know people like to make fun of white people activities in Halloween movies and horror movies, but these are white people activities right here. Going into the cabin when the fire was on and it clearly wasn't on when you were on the outside, hearing footsteps saying, let's go check that out, guys. White people activities. I can say that because I'm white. Don't do that. Like, come on. And plus you're young. You're not gonna make it, guys.
was more powerful than our will to survive, I guess. Diane led the way while Mary and I followed
just admit
behind.
you're scared.
We went down a long
Look,
hall
I'm okay
filled
with admitting I'm
cobwebs
scared.
and squeaky floorboards that creaked with every step we took. Looking down, I realized that some of the floorboards weren't nailed down and were just sitting there loosely. Curious, I reached down and picked up one of the boards, leaving a dark rectangular hole in its place. Strange, I thought. Why
If there's
would some of the
anything in
floorboards
that
be
hole,
removable?
you best
Before I
believe
could
I'm
ponder
leaving.
any further,
I'm
a
leaving.
long pale arm
I'm
with
leaving.
a clawed hand reached out of the hole and grabbed my ankle. I let out a horrified scream as my foot was suddenly dragged down into the hole, along with my entire leg. My friends immediately rushed over and tried pulling me out, but whatever held me down wasn't going to let go without a fight. My fear only worsened
Why
as
are
I
they
felt
licking her
multiple
feet?
sets of teeth begin to bite down on my exposed leg as if it were a piece of meat. I
I mean, it is a
squealed at
piece
the
of
top
meat,
of my
but
lungs as I struggled
that
violently to
kind.
escape. A jolt of pain shot up my leg as the teeth clamped down harder and harder.
Ooh.
I kicked as hard as I could until I felt my foot connected with someone's jaw. That seemed to do the trick as the culprit let go of my ankle, allowing me to pull my foot out. My leg was riddled with teeth marks, but thanks to my flailing around, those teeth didn't break the skin. The three of us then quickly scrambled to our feet, but instead of running out the door, we peered down into the hole out of morbid curiosity. We all froze in sheer terror when we saw several pale faces looking back at us. They were people living under the floorboards. We saw men, women, even a few children among them. They were all pale and skinny, with red eyes and mouths filled with sharp teeth. They smiled up at us before hungrily licking their lips, making their intentions all too clear. Before we could do anything, several hands shot up from the floor and grabbed our ankles, pulling our feet out from under us and making us hit the hard floor. We all screamed and started flailing our limbs in every direction. We tried swatting the
How do
hands
I
away
pause?
and kicking at
If they're actually that skinny, dude, look at that guy's arm. Just break it. I feel like these three girls against these skinny people, they'll be fine, you know? I think they'll be okay. Maybe.
the ghoulish figures as they climbed over each other, attempting to bite us. Mary screamed as a pale-faced woman grabbed her bare foot and brought it up to her mouth, but Diane quickly bashed it over the head with a loose floorboard. I picked up a board as well and started swinging it like crazy, hurting a few of the creature's arms and freeing myself. Diane managed to pull Mary away and we all bolted for the front door, hopping
Ew,
over
why
the
are the
hands
hands
as
so
they continued
big?
to reach for us.
Why are they
The
so
front
big?
door, thankfully, wasn't locked, So after swinging it open, we hightailed it out of there. As we ran through the woods, none of us looked back to see if we were being chased. Fortunately, it didn't take us long to get back to my house, and the bedroom window was still open. We all...
You should never leave the bedroom door open. Bedroom door open, bedroom window open, any windows, don't leave them open, especially at night. I keep hearing noises. I wonder if Gavin's home.
all climbed in one after the other, and I quickly shut the window behind us before locking it. I honestly can't tell you how we managed to get out of that place alive, or why those things even attacked us. Lots of people went up to that cabin before us, and they never mentioned being attacked. Not once. So what made us so special? I can only
Probably
guess
'cause it
that
was
due
at
to their
night
skeletal
and
bodies,
you
they were too
opened-
weak to subdue adult travelers and passers-by. But when they saw 3 little girls in pajamas waltz into their home, they figured we'd make an easier meal. I'm glad we
fair.
proved them wrong. We never told our parents what happened that night, and I moved away a year later. I don't know if that cabin was ever torn down, but I certainly hope no one ever had to go through what we did.
Ew, I hate the sound of people chewing and stuff. Ice
This
cream
is a
horror
terrible
story? Me anytime I go to the bathroom. Wait, what? Let me rephrase that. Me anytime I eat ice cream and then go to the bathroom right after. It's an ice cream horror story. I'm lactose intolerant, by the way. But also, look at that hotel. Hotel? Is that a thing? Am I just making... Because I thought it's supposed to be a hotel, but maybe I'm just making fun of something that's an actual thing. And now I just look stupid.
Story that happened to me when I met my friend Cody. He always loved ice cream, and when he didn't have it, he would go wild and go crazy to the point where he had to take tranquilizers. So he was severely obese. One day, when I told him to stop eating ice cream, he looked sad and said, "I tried hundreds of times to stop eating, but every time I tried, I turned into a monster." I got playful and
Me.
took his ice cream away. Then he took out a knife from his pocket and glared at me, his body shaking. I was surprised and gave him back the ice cream, and he licked it up like a hungry dog. From that day on, I never took ice cream from him again.
I mean...
Then one day, while eating
Yeah.
ice cream, he suddenly got angry and shouted,
I'm getting sick of ice cream now. It tastes the same every day. Do you
Aw.
know why I eat ice cream? In fact, the thought of wanting to kill people pops into my head about once every 5 minutes. So I eat ice cream to suppress that craving.
Maybe try something else. Gavin's home. Maybe try not eating ice cream. Maybe try something healthier like therapy, going for a walk, anything else. Maybe go to a psych ward. That might also help you. But what the fuck? I'm gonna go see what Gavin's doing.
Human patience is very weak. If 10 minutes pass without eating ice cream, my head will be filled with only one thought: murder. Let me ask you one favor.
Murder.
Get me a better ice cream than this. Or the best pizza, or a hamburger, whatever. It doesn't matter. Don't let the devil inside me wake up.
he was in pain and was tearing out his hair. I was shocked, so the next day I found a really good ice cream place and brought him some ice cream from there. He tasted the ice cream and was very happy, saying it was delicious. He regained his sense of stability, but that was by no means the end. One day I asked him if he really wanted to commit murder, and he answered,
Yes, since birth, always. My mom said that when I was crying as a baby, she would put a knife in my hand, then I would smile brightly. And when I was 5 years old, a cruel scene happened to come on TV, and I clapped while watching it. And when I was 7...
That sounds like the fattest cap of my life. What do you mean? Like, if this is true, in that case, you need to go seek help. But, like, if that's not, like, why would you make something up like that? Like, why would you say you've done that? Admitting that is embarrassing. Sorry. Admitting that to, like, someone just to scare them, that's kind of cringe. Saying, well, you should fear me because I used to laugh at horror scenes in movies as a baby. My mommy handed me a knife and I smiled. Like, what? That makes no sense.
She brought me a hamster, and I asked her when I could kill the hamster. and I told
Don't
her I
kill
wanted
the
to
hamster.
kill it quickly. So she sent me to a mental hospital.
Good.
But I couldn't get better even after taking medicine. So from then on, I started eating ice cream. When I eat ice cream, I feel more generous, even if only for a moment.
I was shocked to hear what he said. But then
Why
he
be
said
friends
something
with him?
even more shocking to me.
The day I get tired of this ice cream, I will kill you. I can't find any more delicious ice cream anymore.
He said that and continued to eat the ice cream with a slight smile on his face, and my legs gave out in fear.
Don't be friends with him anymore. Just drop off the face of the earth. It's not worth it.
From then on, I started avoiding him.
Good.
Then one day, he sent me a text message.
I'm getting tired of the taste of this ice cream, and the devil inside me is gradually awakening.
After reading the text, I wondered if I should report it to the police, but I didn't hear from him for a while after that day. Then one day, someone knocked on the door.
Sorry, I keep pausing, but if you reported that to police, they're just gonna be like, okay, like all he said was he was just talking about ice cream and the devil. Like, police can't do anything about that.
Door at my house, and I looked out the window and saw it was him. There was blood on his hands, and he looked so happy. He was pacing around and screaming, while holding an ice cream in one hand and pounding on my door with the other hand. He shouted,
Richard! I just killed someone! I feel so good! The world is so beautiful! My mom lied to me. She always said murder was wrong, but it's so good! I regret eating only ice cream for so long. Now I finally realize ice cream can never make me happy. The only thing that can give me happiness is murder.
He threw the ice cream down and started kicking my front door. I quickly called the police and the door shook as if it would break. The police arrived a short time later and arrested him. It turned out that he had murdered a neighbor right before coming to my house.
Wait, he was just.
I was in complete shock. From that day on, just looking at ice cream makes my legs feel weak.
That's fair, dude.
Even now, I vividly recall the look on his face when he told me he had committed murder. That expression was that of a really, truly happy person.
So, A, what? B, what? What?
Have you ever gone to a park at night? My name is Sebastian, and one time when I was about 7 years old,
My name's Alexis.
I decided to go to the park at night around 8 p.m.
Okay.
I was at my cousin Anna's
been to the
house,
park
and I was
later,
planning on staying
at
the
8
night. And we soon got bored, so we asked my aunt if she could take us to the park. My aunt agreed, and she told us that we were going to take my cousin's dog, a brown poodle named Coco. So we put on
Aw.
Coco's harness and grabbed his leash, and we left. My aunt
Adorable.
offered to buy us some snacks at the liquor store near their house. We both
That's not
said
a liquor
yes,
store.
and so we grabbed some chips.
I want to look like her. That is who I want to be. Oh my god, I've never resonated with a person so much upon first glance. But that, I want to be her. I'm gonna be her one day.
And some juice there, and then carried on
That
with
was
our
not a
walk
liquor
to the
store,
park.
that was a fruit store.
We reached the park, and my cousin and I went running to the field.
Why is it
And
so
first
dark
we went and
at 8
played on
p.m.?
the exercise
Unless
machines.
it's winter, and if it's
My
winter,
aunt sat down
why are
and
you
left
going to the
Coco
park?
with us, and we were running around and chasing him on the grass field. And then he was chasing us. But while we were playing with Coco, we noticed a strange, bald, middle-aged man that was walking in a circle talking on the phone. We could clearly see he was acting off, and he noticed that we were looking at him and gave us a weird, creepy
Didn't they say he was bald? That looks like hair to me.
grin. There was also an old-looking small gray car, which a woman that seemed to be in her late 20s or early 30s stepped out of not long after. Soon after that, the man and the woman got into the car together, and then they came out holding a backpack and duffel bag.
That's weird.
We were not sure what was going on, and we just ignored it because I was around 7 years old and Anna was 10 or 11. So we just continued playing, and we decided to go to the playground, which was the worst.
That is not a play thing. That is exercise. They're distracting you from what is real. They are making you exercise. Don't trust them.
First decision we made that night. Anna was going down the slide, and I was on the monkey
That's not a
bars.
slide, that's a
And
ladder.
then we were taking turns on the big twisty slide.
There we go.
We were about 10 rounds in of playing on the slide when my aunt had fallen asleep on the bench and Coco was sitting down nearby.
Oh no.
Soon after that, I got tired and told Anna that I was tired and was gonna sit down and eat my snacks and pet Coco for a minute, and asked if she wanted to come so we could go home soon. She said no, so I went by myself. As I was sitting down, I saw Anna playing on the slides, and I also noticed that the woman from the car appeared right behind Anna, but she didn't notice. I immediately woke up my aunt and told her what was going on, and she called Anna over. And then she saw the woman, and we also saw the man hiding under the slide, like he was waiting for Anna to come down. Anna made it over to us, and we were both scared, so we grabbed our snacks, and my aunt grabbed Coco, and we left. And surely enough, those people were following us. So we had to take a different path home so we would lose them. As soon as we got home, we called my mom because my aunt can't speak English. And when we told my mom what happened, she immediately called the police. And the police told us something very frightening. There was a wanted duo of human traffickers that drove a small gray car. And the people they described were a perfect match for the man and woman we saw.
Why do people have
My
to
cousin and I
traffic
were
other
terrified,
people?
and my mom...
Like, yeah, there's a lot of money there, but that is just so evil. Like, genuinely. Just, why can't everybody just be nice?
Mom came to pick us up so we could stay at my house in case those people came looking for us. Now, I don't know what those people were planning to do or what was in that backpack and duffel bag.
We know what
But
they
I
were
did
planning on
learn a
doing.
very valuable lesson
They were
from my
gonna
mom
human
after that.
traffic you guys.
I learned that I always need to be aware of my surroundings and the people near me. To this day, I still think about what could have happened if I did not get tired and decided to stay at the slide playing with Anna. I'm 12 years old now, and I still enjoy walking to the park with my own dog, Charlie, a Jack Russell Terrier. Even though this experience when I was 7 really shocked me, I am thankful that nothing bad happened, and I also learned a valuable lesson. I don't go to the park at night anymore, but if
Good.
I do, I make sure that I'm with an adult who is awake and active.
Alright, that's gonna do it for today on these reacting to scary horror stories. There was supposed to be 6 in this video, but I only got through, I think that was 4. But I really hope you guys enjoyed watching these with me. Hopefully we can do more videos like this in the future because they're really chill. And if you have anything that you want to share in the comments about like maybe a true story that you have that's scary, maybe I can like, you know, get a compilation of them, react to them in a video, something like that. I think it'd be really cool that we could just share stories. But I hope you guys had a good day, and I will be back in another video.